Welcome back, everyone, to episode 2 of our Eternal City series, where we are showcasing one of the best mods of all time, Ancient Empires 2.0, just recently updated March 1st. And let me tell you, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, everything is drastically changed, and, you know, so much for the better. Like, perfect example, the start positions in all of these different nations are so vastly different from Rome 2 DEI, which I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. They really took their time in turn 1 in some of these campaigns, and I have not even played all the new nations. So far, I've only done the Nervii, I've done some Boii, which was a blast. I highly recommend just straight up invading Italy. And now, of course, the Eternal City, the showcase, head honcho, Rome itself. And even this feels slightly different. Now, I've only put a few hours into Ancient Empires, so, you know, I may be off in terms of how much has changed, but the entire feel of this entire mod, just, it's so smooth, it feels realistic, I feel connected to each of the units, I feel connected to the battles. I love looking at just the view like this, right, where you can press, you can remove the UI design and zoom in on the map, hear the music, listen to the water, hear the elephants. It's just fantastic. It's fantastic. So let's get into our second episode. We have just won the Battle of Zama. Now our general, who's this, Hannibal? Hannibal survived. That son bitch.
At your command.
That leaves me with a choice. Well, we can't leave Hannibal alive. That's for sure.
Ready for orders.
What do we have here? So this looks like they're encouraging us to have a naval battle.
Yes. Ready for orders. It is an honor to serve.
Ramming ship. What is this? Warship, barbarian. So what's better, right? Oh, we need more ramming ships, right? We're going all in. Oh, we're going all in. We are crushing Carthage. We are breaking their back until they officially quit. This is what we're doing. We're fighting the wind. The wind hippocampus? What? Oh, the wind hippocampus. I was going to say, hippocampus is a part of your brain. It's like, what are they trying to say here? So our admiral, Titus Flaminius, that's going to be a pain to say. Titus Flaminius will lead us into a naval battle for the first time in Ancient Empires 2.0. I'm a little nervous. I have never been talented at naval battles, but that's because, you know, we don't even play it as hardcore Total War players, right? We always auto-resolve. But I've heard the amount of changes that they've made to the battles at sea, that it is well worth the rock, paper, scissors style that they typically go in. So we're good to go. We're going to lead our units in here. We have the numbers. We have overwhelming numbers. So this should be an easy win. I think it's going to be a great cinematic battle. I will see you on the field.
And it would be rude to keep them waiting. They seem strangely eager to reach their benighted and wicked afterlife. So let's oblige them. To arms!
To arms! That is Naval Commander Titus Flaminius sending out his trireme navy out to defeat the Carthaginian force just up ahead. Now, typically in history, the Carthaginians were far more superior in their trireme strength. I mean, their entire empire, their Phoenician empire, was built around the idea of trade being conducted over the ocean. But not today. Today, Rome commands the seas. These men here, and the general himself, will lead these units into naval combat. Now, naval combat back in the day was quite different than what you might expect. Naval combat was about ramming the ships with the fronts of the triremes to destroy and put holes in the enemy wooden ships so that they sink down to the grave. Now, you can imagine just how terrifying of a sight that must be. Here we go, in crescent formation. It looks like ships are starting to exchange blows. Will the general make it through this particular battle himself? He throws his pilum. We're going to be following him the whole time. Tremendous hits by his fellow units. The commander holds firm.
One of our ships is out of ammunition.
Let's try to get in a little closer here.
Cast them back.
Our units are flowing in. Trying to get a hit. Just scraping the sides. And now Carthaginians hustle on top of these ships to engage in hand-to-hand combat. Will the Romans take this advantage all the way to victory? And an enormous hit by one of the larger triremes on the Roman side that just nearly lost the entire ship. Oh. Men are being thrown off the side, desperately trying to swim with their heavy equipment. Oh, Rome loses half of its men into the deep. This is not looking good for Rome. The fights are ticking on, arrows are being thrown, rams being conducted. The naval battle is fierce and fast. Carthaginians are sprinting onto the enemy, boat nearly tipping it over with its weight, fighting as hard as it can. Oh, good lord. These rams are just devastating the units on board, and they get right back up, straight back to the fighting. Ram after ram has them sink hundreds of men, now having to jump for their lives, hopefully learning how to swim in the process. But no, they fall to the deep of the Mare Magnum. Sweeping around, the Roman units are falling back in. Carthaginian unit is about to, nearly hit its own unit. It's trying desperately to swing past it. So far, our commander here is just barely holding on, it appears. Oh. Romans are dying into the deep. Our commander is still alive somewhere around here. Titus Flaminius commanding his naval ships to fight to the bitter end. A ship has caught on fire thanks to Roman ingenuity, and now the Carthaginians bail. They know if they don't find something to float, they will be left there to dust. You can see Sicily just in the background, and Carthage in the background of the Roman line. Each army desperately looking at their homeland, wondering if they'll be able to make it back to their sandy shores. The battlefield is opening up now. Units are fleeing in terror. It looks like Roman is standing victorious. We are victorious, baby! Woo! That's how it's done. That is how it's done. Get overwhelming numbers so that no matter how many people you lose, you still win. That's how it's done, guys. I hope you're taking notes. So we've just won our first naval battle. What should we do here? Should we enslave? Should we get some money? Let's enslave. We'll get some slaves. We'll replenish our ranks here. We might be able to take that city with just these ships. I don't know how possible that is. Right? Can we just bring this?
Reporting. Your orders.
Very, very unlikely. We are going to maintain blockade. I can't even tell like which units it is, right? It's like pirates, some towers, not even guys. So, now here's a thought.
At your command.
Here's a thought.
Ready for battle. None will escape.
We're gonna take this city.
Ready for orders.
There we go. We are gonna take this city of Hadrumetum. But really, we're going to be commanding this force. This is just so that we can bring him in. So let's assault the city. We'll get 2 fat battles in the beginning of this campaign. We haven't even gotten to the parts where we are saving our empire from internal destruction or promoting our commerce or any of that. I mean, just look at the cinematics so far. Let's dive right in. I will see you on the field. Titus Flaminius, fresh off of a victory from a major naval battle,
Do not hesitate.
is now leading
Walter,
his
do
navy
not think
into
falling
taking the
back.
Carthaginian
We
city.
go forwards,
Yet,
not back to the deeps.
he's not by himself. Cleverly enough,
Outnumbered.
he sent many carrier pigeons to Publius Scipio, who's leading an advance force onto the walls of this Carthaginian city. This is our first time taking a look at this city, and I gotta say, the detail is really something. Look at the artwork. They even gave it a three-dimensional pop. I like that. A lot of Greek and Phoenician influences I am seeing. That's certainly Phoenician. It's amazing to see the little Punic and Greek touches throughout the entire city. Oh, that's cool. A little bath. They did such a good job with the unit modeling. I mean, look at how much effort they put into the city. This looks to be some sort of gymnasium for their citizens, and that is a temple of, it looks like Zeus without a lightning bolt. The city itself at the moment is bunkered down. The citizens are highly concerned about the incoming Roman force, as they should be. Rome has come here with siege engines, ready to take on this city. So, you know, you better hope that one of those ballista shots doesn't end up knocking down one of your houses here. Like here, probably. Once upon a time. People are panicking, lighting fires. They have nowhere to run. Probably some of them fled, completely avoiding the battle altogether. Look at the backyard of this Carthaginian villa. It's a little water pump. The detail in these buildings really make you feel like you are falling right into the city that was here in real life at one time. I mean, look at this. Potted plants. Little spots to sit. I mean, it's extremely thorough. The detail, the colors, the trimming, the different textures. Oof. This is the ugliest part. This right here. This has got to go. This cannot stand. Looks like we have some Carthaginian units facing in the direction of the enemy, but oddly defending that gate. I wonder what is exactly going through their head. They must be concerned about my naval forces here, so they're keeping the majority of their units on the walls local to that beach. I understand that this beachhead is an important one. But how aware are they of what's to come? Looks like Rome has brought their elephants once again, replenishing his units. Scipio probably learned the usefulness of an elephant charge against tightly packed infantry, and now, most certainly as he typically does, indoctrinated it into his mercenary army. Here's our ballista slowly rolling its way up to the hill. Publius Scipio undoubtedly on the Roman left. So let's find out the core components of this siege here. It appears the Romans are actually making siege here on this wall. So we're going to call this wall, we'll call this spot Normandy. All right, so this little position here will be the Normandy beach. You know what? No, that doesn't make sense. We don't want to call that Normandy. No. What we'll call this is Citadel. This will be the Citadel area of the map. Up here will be Normandy. This is the beach that undoubtedly Titus Flaminius is going to send his navy ships to land on and flood his marines into the city of Carthage. Well, this isn't exactly Carthage. One of the cities of the Carthaginian Empire. So we'll call this position Normandy, and we'll call this position here Citadel. After all, it is the walled section that they will be engaging in with all of their military might. Look at the rank and file of these soldiers. The sons of Mars himself, they are preparing for siege against a city that belongs to a country that nearly threatened their homeland, their Italian peninsula in the Battle of the Cannae, where Hannibal Barca himself decimated an enormous legion At the time, it was the largest army that Rome has ever mustered, and in an instant, in the bloodiest battle of Roman history, they lost everything. Hannibal Barca is not to be underestimated, but so far as we've proven in this series, The Eternal City, you should not be underestimating Roman ingenuity either. Now, I'm not sure what they're growing here. Could just be some sort of flower patch for beautification. But here they are preparing this siege unit. It seems that the enemy ships have actually landed some units here onto the beach and are now moving either under concealment towards the Roman units, or more likely, running as fast as they can with their tail between their legs. Here we go. Yep. Running as fast as they can with their tail between their legs. I mean, this is what they're doing. Rome could have cut them off, but I think, patience is definitely a virtue of Publius Scipio. He is not one to impetuously throw and waste units into an unnecessary engagement when, all the same, he can group them together and under one decisive stroke, remove them from the equation entirely. What kind of enemy forces is Scipio going to be facing? Looks like more Libyan spearmen with their ornate shields, bristling, oily beards, preparing for battle. Now, Carthage takes a lot of influence from the Greek military style. They don't quite have the same level of hoplite, but the tactics are the same. Large shield, large spear. The shield large enough to cover the man to your right. This might be the final time we see this city under Carthaginian control. Two hours later. It's quite possible that they run completely out of ammunition and are unable to even enter the city. What a shame that would be, huh? Their entire invasion having to be turned around because of a simple siege failure. But rumors are spreading amongst the camp that Publius Scipio himself is firing this ballista. He is, after all, relatively knowledgeable about sieges, and his plans to take Carthage itself require practice. The walls are starting to come down, just like times before. The guard tower has been knocked out. A huge moral cut to Carthaginian confidence. And it appears it's only going to require just a little more pressure to bring down these walls. That is, if they have ammunition left. I'm curious what's going on in the Roman camp.
Walls are destroyed. The defenses are no more.
Oh no. The walls have been destroyed. And now the Romans are readying their advance. What will the Carthaginians do? They will triple up on these walls and try to throw as many spears into the oncoming invaders as possible. Will they put any ground forces to plug the gap? Or are they just ultimately concerned about what's happening in the ocean? Let's quickly check out Normandy. No movement so far on Normandy. I think they're waiting until a little bit more advantageous time. So we're back here at the Citadel. The Citadel is falling. I repeat, the Citadel is falling. We have to put as many javelin throwing units right here in the in-betweens as possible. The Romans are sending everything they got into the gap. Once more into the breach, dear friends. Once more. Now the question is, would they be leading with their light infantry or their heavy infantry? Is it wiser to go in full testudo or to cover as much ground as early as possible? Let's find out exactly what their plans are. If I had a hunch, I would say they're going in full tilt. It appears I was right. They're going in full tilt. Testudo be damned. How on earth could you stop such an organized war machine? How could you ever stand a chance against elephants, ballista, legionnaires? The Veltes are running in first, so I guess it's full tilt with the light infantry. Doesn't appear to be any resistance, although here come the hail of bullets, peppering the Veltes as they aggressively press through the breach. Legionnaires in the back have their shields at 90 degrees. They are entering the breach right now. No units on the ground. It is open season, yet the enemy is still on their walls, trying to use their ranged attacks as much as possible. It's a foolish mistake. They should have moved some sort of Libyan spearman there, but I suppose the commander is completely unwilling to teach himself how to protect against sieges, and now Rome has free reign into the marketplace, into the court square, and now they're running all of their Veltes, all of their legions, directly into the city limits here. Unable to do anything from above, it appears they are just silently waiting for the engagement to begin. These javelin men are still peppering everyone that's coming in, but it is not going to stop. It is not going to stop this invasion. The Veltes are pushing all the way back, trying to take a little bit of cover from these ranged units. A clever and wise move indeed. Let's check out what our legions are doing. The men are coming in cautiously. They are doing their best to make sure that they do not get hit with arrows. It's interesting to see them all nearly trip on their way down. The Veltes are now fighting back, throwing their javelins as quickly as they can. What on earth is that noise? That must be the ballista from the walls. There's a huge ranged fight going on between the walls and the ground units. It appears that these legionnaires are slowly moving themselves into testudo, which is a wise move. They're in. They're officially in. Now they need to push through. They have to push through and start assaulting these walls before they get absolutely peppered with more javelins. It appears that there is an advanced Hastati force. I believe that's Hastati. Potentially Principe moving up to assault the walls. We'll have to follow them and see what we're doing. Let's check on the other units. Coming into the rest of the legionnaires. Rome is looking quite organized, moving in their units little by little, and now this first legion force is going to be storming these walls, taking out as many of these units as possible. The battle has begun on the walls. Rome is just destroying these light javelin units who are completely incapable of defending themselves against such well-trained units. Gored and bloody from javelin throws. These, I believe, Principes are now rushing down the walls, assaulting anyone in sight. Little by little, they increase their numbers to a point where there's just really no returning back. Oh, devastating sword cuts. Oh, Roman down. Finally got one back in return, but it won't be enough. They seem completely confused, unable to withstand the fights. Romans are just hacking and slashing, while Carthaginians are desperately trying to escape. Peel and throw in close quarters. Romans are still moving themselves into the heart of the city. While here on the citadel, a gory battle occurs between these Principe units and these lightly armored Carthaginians whose heads are down. Their morale seems to be entirely shot. They don't want to be here, but they have no place to run. They have no exit. It's been completely taken by a lack of commanding from the from the Carthaginian military. Oh, here we go. Some Carthaginian advanced units here. We have some Libyan spearmen We're going to shift our guy here and watch as they move deeper into the ranks of the Carthaginian army here on the Citadel walls. It appears that Rome is organizing. Oh, there was some sort of explosion, and we've lost so many units. Scipio lost so many units to some kind of explosion. I think the Carthaginians have set some sort of trap on the walls. That took out nearly half the legionnaires, and now the remaining forces are pissed off that their brothers had to go down in such a way. Those highly trained units, all you needed was some sort of explosive device to take them down. That's what cowards do. Let's check out in the center. We're going to head back towards the marketplace. We're now veering towards an entirely new battlefield, which is the Court Square. Normandy is still completely quiet, although it does appear that they are starting to move their units towards the beachhead for an emergency landing. The Roman Marines are ready to go, although not nearly as armored as the Roman Principes, and definitely not as talented of fighters. They still are fresh from victory, confident in their success. So now ancient Rome has to prepare itself, moving its legionnaires down the city streets to keep itself from being flanked, and the majority force, which looks like 3 units, mixed units of Principe and Hastati, are descending upon the Court Square. There's still no Punic defense. They are highly outnumbered. I do not know what they're doing. They're probably trembling in fear. 1 unit of spear. 1 unit against so many Romans. Is there any point to even trying? Now Scipio, a total flanking genius, is now slowly, systematically taking down different guard towers as he's moving around the city itself, and of course his secret weapon, the elephants. An engagement has begun. Multiple units have attempted to assault, but oh my god. Oh no. Oh no. That was such a bad idea. Turning into human porcupines. Look at all the javelins. Oh my god, look at all the javelins in the ground. That is just... Wow, 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 wow. Now the Libyan spearmen are slowly enclosing on this. I'm assuming what the Romans here are going to try to do is hold down this unit for some sort of elephant charge. Our first major infantry clash. The first 2 units of Rome, and the third taking a flanking maneuver around back. Look at that. That's Roman organization for you. And in a miraculous turn of events, just behind these Libyan spearmen, completely unaware to them, the Roman elephants are preparing for a flank. To counteract these elephants, it appears that the Carthaginians have released some defense. Fresh off the boats, it appears that Normandy itself has been completely flooded with units, and an early clash of Libyan spearmen have come. And here come the elephants directly into the backs of these Libyan spearmen. Stomping them as they go.
The enemy is attacking our general.
The elephant is king. No doubt about that. That is such a rock and a hard place. That unit will surely retreat. Here's some more Romans pinning down another important unit as the rest of the Roman army organizes itself to repel any defense. Now here on the beachhead, we have an enormous army of Roman Marines organizing themselves, throwing their pilum towards the enemy in an attempt to help break their ranks. Although a great deal of friendly fire is occurring, multiple Roman units are getting stabbed in the back by these javelins themselves. Very, very inconsiderate of their fellow Romans to throw pilum into the backs of their own men. As you can see, many of them are taking javelins directly to the face. Slight flanking maneuver by the roaming Hastati that was holding down on the streets, assaulting these lightly armed units. It appears that the Libyan spearmen have completely broken, and now the main cohort with elephants is pushing beyond the city limits to turn into the court square where they can take general control over this major city. Enjoy this while you can, Carthaginian flag, because you're about to come down. Roma will be victorious. Reorganizing his elephants, trying desperately not to lose them, unlike the Battle of Zama where he nearly lost every single unit. Newly replenished, he's taking his time, Scipio is taking his time to reorganize where his elephants sit to maximize on a rear flank.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Looks like there's some elephant units completely stuck. That's not good because the rest of the unit is way further down the court. Although they seem to have noticed, and now they are turning around to assist the fellow elephants that have not made it. Here comes the devastating charge. Elephants are at full speed. Oh. Doing an amazing job closing in on this square. This Carthaginian city must be taken at all costs. There's Scipio leading his army from the rear, enjoying the view as little by little his elephants crush his opponents. Now I imagine after the victory on Zama that our general has a giant smile on his face. Surely he knows, despite the casualties being inflicted here, that this will be a Roman victory at this point.
It is about to fall to your men.
I do not see any possibility of them fighting him off as the Romans are slowly taking over each part of the city itself. It seems here there's a Roman flag. This is a historic moment. Look at that flag. That's what really matters. It's getting that guy to take full control over this city. Yes, the gates are ours. We are in full control
The enemy tower is no more
of
than
this
wreckage
city.
now.
Their towers have fallen. Their units are entirely enveloped. Surely they have towers and such, but they stand no chance. None against this powerhouse of a nation. The era of Carthage seems to be coming to a close. This would be the second major battle won in the Eternal City series. The first real world war, honestly, in the ancient age was Carthage versus Rome. It was a world war. This is an interesting tactic. I'm not sure what Scipio is doing here. He's pulling back his units, I guess, to just get a better position. I understand cycle charging the cavalry, but I'm not entirely clear on what Scipio here is trying to do. I see now. This unit had a lot of Pelem left, and now they're wearing down the armor for a new cycle charge. Here comes the final days of this unit. Oh! Oh no! Oh no!
God has seen us victorious this day.
Good Lord! Rome has conquered. There we go, baby. We just took our first city. Hadramuttum is now a Roman city. I love it. I love it. It's fantastic teamwork there between Titus Flaminius and, of course, Publius Scipio. Roman legend. The city is now ours. Now the question is, what to do with it? We are going to sack the city.
To serve.
Why not?
Ready for orders.
We're going to sack the city. Looks like we got some upgrades. 2 sanitation as governor. Well, that's fantastic, actually. And city planner we will also do. Interesting. Okay, now Scipio's upgrading as well. What is this? Astronomer. Interesting. 30% high sea attrition. Minus 30. That's weird. I don't know how useful that is, honestly. Fleet movement range as commander. I mean, I see why that could be useful. I just don't need it at the moment. But what I do need is Siegecraft Expert. Siege unit recruitment costs as commander. That's what I need. Because we are headed straight for Carthage. You know, I'm not even worried about Hannibal.
Ready for orders.
I'm not even worried about him. Now for you, we are going to just do Roman naval doctrine. Fantastic. We have taken the city. We're probably going to run back into this and, you know, do a little conquering in that. It is one of 3. 2, Cirta looks like it's my ally that I've converted into this war, which is fantastic. So they're the ones holding back Messacellae. So all in all, this has been an amazing episode. Lots of battles. Check us out in episode 3 as we break down our domestic policy and which buildings we need in order to maintain the right native contentment, which is going to be a huge problem in Rome. Since there's such an enormous empire, there's going to be a lot of native discontent for being under Roman rule. So part of your strategy is going to be absolutely flying in that. And this is all relatively new to me. You know, I've played maybe 10 turns of Rome and the original ancient empires. But now that this is fully fledged, fleshed out, and there's all of this extra stuff, I have to dig in and I have to find out exactly how far the Eternal City can go. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment down on the bottom if you believe that there was a different strategy that I could have employed in these situations. I'm all ears. See you guys next time.